Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks host the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Today, it's a doubleheader starting at 4 p.m. with Jewish Heritage Night. As for this game, the Ferry Hawks will play as the Staten Island Menches. Friday at 7 p.m., it's soccer night, and kids glow around the bases postgame. Saturday at 6:30, it's Broadway night with postgame fireworks and Broadway rave. Sunday at 1:30, it's Military Appreciation Day, and the kids run around the bases.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Are you one of those media strategy people clicking through slides, scrolling spreadsheets? Yes? Good. This is for you. Because on Spotify, there's an audience that's different, locked in, loyal, invested. They're called fans. Fans don't just listen to music. They feel seen by it, like it belongs to them. So when your brand shows up on Spotify, that's who you're talking to. And you're right next to artists like me, Lizzo. So, are you ready to talk to fans? Spotify advertising. You're among fans.
The Rita Cosby Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I know your name is Rita, 'cause your perfume is smelling sweet since when I saw you down on the floor.
Breaking news.
And tonight reports that the U.S. military has shot down 2 Iranian attack drones around the Strait of Hormuz. So much for peace. But President Trump says that a settlement is at hand. It is going to be bumpy, but he says a settlement is at hand. Apparently, they also pounded the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps facilities, also hitting radar sites and a whole bunch of other things. These are the hardened fighters, the IRGC. But President Trump seems to think that there are some in the regime that are reasonable, at least somewhat, compared to the others. And here is President Trump a little bit ago saying that they are in a box, that Iran has no choice. And especially when he brought up the fact that they may take over Karg Island, which is the lifeline of Iran, they were totally boxed in. Take a listen.
Part of the problem is that they read the fake news. I mean, because Fox is great. All the anchors on Fox have been fantastic. But the accuracy is so good. I just saw him on your show a little while ago, and I said, that's exactly what's happening. I'm not saying I want the advantage or this. I just say that's what's happening, and that's the way it should be covered. And if it was covered that way, the public would say, wow, what a great situation this is, because we are stopping a very evil nation which has killed thousands of our people. No legs, no arms, face obliterated. What they've done with, the roadside bombs. Soleimani, who I killed. But Soleimani was their top general. He was a brilliant general, an evil person. But he was a brilliant general. He was a violent general. And he was the father of the roadside bomb. And they sent him off by the thousands. And every time you see a soldier without his legs and arms and beyond, that's Soleimani. So 95% is Soleimani. So I took care of that. And now we have Iran in a very, I guess the ultimate position. They have no choice. But the only negative we have is we have everybody writing about it incorrectly. We have fake news.
But
that's where the term fake news
feeling is
you can tell they're like trying to get a word in edgewise. He's there on Fox News, obviously, as he was praising Fox News there. Meantime, the Iranian foreign minister coming out just a little bit ago saying that a deal is speculative. Some of that may just be grandstanding, for public consumption to make it look like they're the warriors in this, which I don't think anybody thinks that is the case, but maybe just for public consumption. Meantime, Graham Platner, as I mentioned, there are still more details coming out about him. And you have to listen to what he says, because he keeps spinning it. Oh, this is not about me. It is about you. It's about your lack of moral character. Listen to what he said on CNN.
Have you gone through, do you know what could be out there from those text messages?
Of course I know. I sent them years ago. This whole, again, I know what happened. My wife knows what happened. It was long before I ran for United States Senate, and it was earlier in our marriage. The funny thing is, the only reason that story exists is because we did what we thought was the right thing. We entrusted someone on the campaign team with information about our past. We were very upfront about everything in our lives. That person then went and made up more about it and tried to get that story in the newspapers and finally got the New York Times to run it.
What a joke. It went to his campaign manager at the time. The wife said, apparently, according to the campaign manager, oh, they're really worried about this. This could be used against him. Does that sound like they think it's normal out there? Do they think it's normal to be on this some sexting site? And he's still on it right now as we speak. It's not like it was some passing phase when he was in his diapers. That's not the case. So you got to hear this one. This is a doozy. Here is James Carville, because he knows all these details, and yet he still says, I essentially stand by Graham Platner.
But right now, we got to win, and we got to win everywhere, because the worst Republican is 100 times better than, the worst Democrat's 100 times better than the best Republican right now. And that's just a fact. And nothing can get in the way of that. Nothing should cloud your judgment. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to stop this son of a bitch from taking the whole country down.
We're not looking for perfection. You don't have perfection in Graham Platner. That's for sure. You do not have perfection with Graham Platner. We're just looking to stop him. Trump. Like, we'll take The Walking Dead. If the choice is Trump or anybody with a pulse, we'll take the pulse. That's essentially what James Carville is saying. I mean, James, come on. You need better standards. He's out there saying, oh, yeah, anything we can do to stop Trump. I don't care what it is. I'll bring the devil incarnate. Here's a little more of James Carville.
The more I think about the Graham Platner thing, the more that I see that he has value. Okay, Graham Platner had 4 combat deployments. I don't think that, I don't want to diagnose someone, but we have to assume that that has had some residual effect on him. Somebody says PTSD, I don't know.
Clearly.
Shell shock. But you know what all those 4 wars have in common? Susan Collins was for all 4. Maybe it would not be the worst thing. Maybe if you were voting for governor and you had to have instant judgment or stability, maybe it's actually an affirmatively good thing that we have a combat veteran who is affected by the rigors and horror of combat on the floor of the United States Senate, serving on the Veterans Affairs Committee, serving on the Committee for Mental Health. I think that the walk that this guy has taken is a walk, is in some ways a noble walk.
No, it's not. There's nothing noble about his response. To put that guy on the Foreign Affairs Committee, well, we just learned tonight, according to another gal who dated him, that he had the tattoo, the Nazi tattoo, because the U.S. was the evil bad guys overseas, as a reminder to him. You want to put that guy on the Foreign Affairs Committee deciding U.S. policy with other countries? Are you kidding me? That's the last place that guy should be. And then this is really incredible. And I'm going to get to Robert in Philly in a moment. And Robert, I can't wait to get your reaction on this. This is really shocking. Ro Khanna, who has stood by Graham Platner's side. And in fact, right when all these, all the women allegations were coming out, remember, on Thursday and Friday, especially last week, he volunteered and said, sign me up. I can't wait to rally with that guy and promote him. And he did. He went to the rally on Friday night in Bar Harbor and was telling everybody this is about grace. This is about redemption. This isn't that bad. Nothing to see here. I've lost all respect for Ro Khanna. I actually thought he was a fairly level-headed, in some ways, Democrat, and that is certainly not the case. He has lost all respect in my book, this guy. And so Ro Khanna is now going after anybody who doesn't fully support Graham Platner. Not only is he kissing his tuchus, not only is he being unbelievably ridiculous, he's going after anybody who is not actually on the Graham Platner Nazi tattoo-wearing, plane. This is amazing. So one of them he's going after is Chuck Schumer. Now, Chuck Schumer originally supported Janet Mills, who's the former governor of Maine. She was the one who still stayed on the ballot. She said she suspended her race because she couldn't raise the money against Graham Platner. All the money was going to Graham Platner. which says a lot about the Democratic Party. And now Ro Khanna is sort of appointing himself as the guy who's going to decide if you're a good Democrat or a bad one. And in his mind, the only good Democrat is the one who's going to get on board with the Nazi tattoo, veteran bashing, guy, Graham Platner. And so now he's going after Chuck Schumer, because even though Chuck Schumer wasn't a fan necessarily of Graham Platner at first, lately when he's been asked about it, he's like, we have to win the Senate. We have to win the Senate. So he's been like complicit too. He actually hasn't been like really fighting Graham Platner almost at all. If anything, he's given him an endorsement. He hasn't been trashing him. I mean, when you say, we got to get him in the Senate, that's pretty much an endorsement. And so Ro Khanna is essentially now going after Schumer because Schumer isn't saying Graham Platner is the second coming. Listen to this.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking that he's just so out of touch. I mean, he needs to step aside. I've called for him to step aside. No one thinks of him as the future of the party. He was very weak. He didn't want to support Graham Platner. He was out there trying to get Janet Knowles. Even he now sees that Platner is the best chance to win the state. Won overwhelmingly last night. But he's just out of touch. I mean, and needs to move aside.
That's amazing. So if you weren't 100% on for the Nazi tattoo wearing guy, well, then you're out of touch. You're out of the Democratic Party. And even though Schumer has sold his soul, because remember, he was also embracing Mondani, and now he's embracing this guy. But because he didn't embrace him from day one, they're like eating their young, or in this case, they're more seasoned politicians. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go back to Robert in Philly on line 4. Thank you, Robert, for your patience.
Thank you for keeping me over, Rita. I was calling about my concerns for this summer, but real quick, there are no secrets in the barracks. I would love to hear from the people who served with Platner to get a better idea on what kind of mindset this. I bet you'll get better information from the people he served with than you're getting from anywhere else right now, as far as TV or social media or whatnot.
That's by the way, Robert, that's a very good point. How come we haven't heard from his barracks mate? Like the folks that are there, like, one way or the other. Like we haven't really heard anything. It'd be interesting to hear, do they think he's a great guy, or do they think he's a pig like we think?
I suspect we'll be hearing from them in the coming months. But see, here's my concern, Rita. You have a lot of things going on right now, a lot of strife. You have, like, with the Carmelo Anthony and the teen takeovers and whack job leftists fighting law enforcement in blue cities and the problems that are overseas and the hatred towards the Jews and the Islamists in the country, which I agree wholeheartedly with Joaquin on. And all it would take is, and the 250th birthday of the country, all it would take is one match to set off something completely chaotic and way out of bounds. And I'm not naive enough to believe that there are a lot of prominent Democrats that would love nothing more than for that to happen. And that's my concern. Because of these whack jobs and maniacs wanting to have the power to rule our lives, we have to live with this reality, because all of the problems I just mentioned were given to us by the Democrats. Every single one of them. And now they have set up this powder keg that they can set off at will. And the summer of a midterm, a big summer like this, would just be something they might even be drooling over. And we have to be careful about that. I hope our Justice Department is aware of that, but it gives me consternation, because this should be a great summer, Rita, and the left would love nothing more than to destroy it, and that makes me sick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. By the way, Robert, I think you are 100% right. You're right, that they see this as an opportunity, and they also want to create chaos at this moment, clearly, because they're heading into the midterms. They'd like to try to get the House. They'd like to try to get the House and the Senate, and anything they'll do, it's with that in mind. It's the masked men that are ICE agents. They're willing to vilify police. They're willing to take a Nazi tattoo wearing pig. All of these things that are just shocking, but their standards are so low. because the only goal is a numbers game. And then you know darn well that if they get power, you can imagine, do you ever want somebody like a Graham Platner or even that Adam Holloway, the guy in New Jersey, or Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan? Those guys, shouldn't be anywhere near Capitol Hill. I mean, their backgrounds are, they espouse, in my view, some very dangerous anti-American views. Very dangerous. And, the fact that he's out there saying that the U.S. was the evil bad guys overseas. And I agree. I think we're going to be hearing so many other things. I'll be curious to see other people in the barracks with him, like you just said. I'll be curious to see if other women come out of the woodwork. But this is the exact kind of guy who you see leading the charge on those kind of protests, which is why you don't want to have him anywhere near a position of power, because he seems to be cheering them on, just like Mondani seems to be cheering them on. He doesn't want the buffer zones. He doesn't want that. Come one, come all. It's First Amendment in their mind. And to me, many of them are far from First Amendment. And I think you would agree with that too, Robert. I agree. We got to pray. I think it's going to be a very bumpy summer. And I think it's going to be a little bumpy, obviously short term with Iran, hopefully just short term. And then hopefully we see peace in the Middle East. And then President Trump will really focus on everything going on in this country. I mean, he's still juggling both at the same time, which is amazing because nobody else could do that. So let's see where this goes. But pray for peace and pray for courage. That's for sure, Robert. Thank you. It's always great to hear from you. 1-800-848-9222. And everybody, we will continue your calls on The Rita Cosby Show when we come back.
Roger Stone here. Your dollars are losing ground, but gold isn't. American Sovereign Bullion helps you protect your wealth through real, tangible assets. Through their nationwide wholesaler network, you get some of the best pricing on gold and silver delivered straight to your door. Since 1912, the U.S. dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to prove its strength. So call 844-272-2428. That's 844-272-2428. Or visit dyingdollar.com to request your free gold and silver guide. That's dyingdollar.com.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
The Rita Cosby Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well, it sure sounds like Graham Platner is an easy lover, especially if you're on Kick as much as he's on Kick. I'd say he's a very easy lover. 1-800-848-9222. Pete likes that. Let's go to Stan in Forest Hills. Line 1. Go ahead, Stan.
Good evening. Good evening. First of all, what deal? What is the deal? What is this every 10 minutes? This guy is unreal.
You're talking about Trump and Iran, right?
I want to talk about Platner, but yeah. What is the deal? He doesn't shut up. Keep it. What is the deal? I mean, he talks, and then, of course, the Iranians say, well, they're stalling. I've said this 300 or 500 times. There is no deal. They're buying time. You know it, and I know it. They're not going to go along with whatever he does. They'll say anything.
But
you know it, and I know it.
Don't you think, Stan, President Trump knows that too? I mean, he knows the game. He said, that he thinks America's, been pushed over by this guy, by these leaders over there in Iran. He knows their game, and that's why he started pounding them. So for you to say he's only been talking, He's been pounding them. Don't you see that? Or you don't see? Stan, do me a favor. This is to be continued because we got to go to a hard break. I want you to stay with us, too. Because we have so many good people tonight. Stay with us. We're going to go to a break. But he's a guy of action. It's not just words.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
The Rita Cosby Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Turn it up.
Well, President Trump says no matter what, people like Stan from Forest Hills, who we're going to get to in a moment, will never give him praise on Iran. Take a listen.
It could be the greatest deal in history. They could wave the white flag of surrender. They could say, we surrender, we're finished, we've had it. The United States is the greatest power. Praise be to Allah. And they could do all of this. They could say it loud and clear, and the fake news would say it was a great victory for Iran. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. We're killing them. Just killing them. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. You know, we're flying planes over the middle of Tehran, and they have no idea what we're there. We've knocked out all of their radar, all of their anti-aircraft. Much of their missiles, they have probably less than 20%. We think about 20%. Most of their launchers, they have the missile launchers, which are quite important. Their drone capacity is way down. You see it. I mean, it's way down. Their attacks are very minor. They're finished. And yet, the fake news, just like with the election, the fake news is out there saying, wow, Iran is doing just so well. Trump is doing terribly. I watched it yesterday, one of the shows for 5 minutes. Haven't seen the show in a long while. This fake Joe Scarborough talking about how well Iran is doing. I'm saying, where do they come from? It's just the craziest thing. Yeah. And behind the scenes, I will tell you, they won't even dispute it, although they probably would because it makes sense. They're very good. Iran is very good at publicity, but they're not good at fighting. But I took a look, and I must tell you, they can't believe the press they're getting. They can't even believe it. Yeah. And they told me, they said, it's amazing how well we're doing in the papers. We're not doing so well. They're negotiating with us to make a deal.
Well, Mr.
It's
President,
hard for them because they are proud. They're very proud.
We know
been the bully. They've been the bully of the Middle East for 47 years.
Yeah, they have.
They've been ripping off our presidents and other countries for years. They played Obama for a fool. The JCPOA is one of the worst deals I've ever seen, other than NAFTA, the NAFTA trade deal, which was maybe the worst deal ever made.
Mr. President.
But the JCPOA was a road to a nuclear weapon. Mine is a road to no nuclear weapon. Right. They can't have a nuclear. It says you cannot have a nuclear weapon. We will not have. And I didn't like it. It wasn't strong enough because it said develop. You cannot develop. I said, no, I want buy also. So they fought me on that for a day, and then they agreed to it. You cannot develop or purchase a nuclear weapon. You know, so we got everything, but the press just covers it so crazily. They
don't worry about it.
No matter what I do, the press will say it was a great victory for Iran. These people are crazy.
Mr. President,
it's Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, Mr. President.
It's Trump derangement syndrome on steroids. Let's go back to Stan in Forest Hills. Go ahead, Stan.
They won't surrender. I want to talk about the Senate in Maine, but they won't surrender. If they surrender, I'll be the first to applaud this guy. But they will not. They may sign
So you will applaud him. You will
this
applaud him.
before.
Will you stand up and applaud him if he gets this deal?
Well, if they do, they will not surrender. I know this crowd. They have no intention. They're playing this sucker for what he is. They will not, you can. He won't send troops into Iran. He won't do it. I know he won't do it.
He doesn't want to do it, and the American public doesn't want him to do it either, Stan. You know that.
He ain't going to win it in the air alone. Most strategic senior advisors in the military say it's got to go. If they don't, if he keeps bombing them, fine. I want to hear them say, we surrender, we give up. He just said it. He said, even if they did, I'll say to you, if you got them to surrender, I'll applaud you. Absolutely. But let's get to the Senate.
All right. I like where you're going with the applauding. And by the way, every American should be applauding him if he does get to this deal in a matter of days. If it ends where there will be verifiable that they can't get nuclear materials, they can't purchase it, they can't develop it. You heard this. He's looking at all the angles, if he gets to that and then they open the strait, and it's verified, that's the key, because I agree that they might just say anything and, and then break it, a few days later or whatever. But if it's verifiable, but you could just tell this week also, Stan, Trump is fed up. You could hear it. He's so fed up with this that he feels like I've given them every rope. I keep trying for peace. I keep trying to do the right thing by the American public in the world. I keep hoping they're going to come to the table, and they're not doing it, and they're clearly violating it tooth and nail. So that's why he's doing the pounding. And he's even said, I'm going to continue pounding. He was ready to really pound his hearts out tonight. And they were apparently 3 hours away. And then he said, okay, they claim that they're ready to come to the table. So let's see. But I agree with you, Stan. I mean, I don't trust these guys, but I don't think Trump is a sucker. I think Biden was a sucker. I think Obama was a sucker. I think Trump is a patriot.
Senator, I'm not for this guy. I'm not happy with what he is. But I totally agree 1,000% with Jimmy Carville. 1,000%. It's worse than the guy in the White House. The second guy is the guy.
No, wait a minute. You're talking about Graham Platner. Wait, Graham Platner. Wait a minute. Who's worse? You think President Trump is worse than Graham Platner?
What's the difference?
Oh, my goodness. One wears a Nazi tattoo. One has, it says women essentially, if you got assaulted, buck up. One is on a sexting app. So far, those are a few differences. Maybe there's a whole bunch more, Stan, I'm sure.
I agree with you. I'm not for this guy. I'm not happy. But Carville's right. He'd rather. He knows how bad it is. But even what's in the White House to him is worse. To say
how is he right? That is such a preposterous comment. You got the president of the United States, who has been the first president in your lifetime and my lifetime to bomb Iran.
We're not talking. We're talking about.
No, you can't separate. No. That's a preposterous comment. You have the first president in our lifetime who has the cojones to go in and go after Tehran and take the fight to Tehran. Every other president was a bunch of pansies who said, oh, yeah, they're a threat, and did nothing, and they sent pallets of cash. And you can't even give him credit. You're going to sit and back James Carville saying that guy, that Trump is worse than Graham Platner. You got a screw loose, Stan.
He wants all Republicans. He wants them out. And as far as the country, it's not in the best shape with this guy. But
it was so good with Joe Biden, who was shaking the air because he didn't know where anybody was.
I don't like him, but I'll take the worst of as long as we can get control of the House. I don't think we'll get control of the Senate. That I'm realistic about. It's not going to happen, even with this guy.
Why do you want control of the House? You want Adam Holloway, the guy in New Jersey?
To stop Trump any way I can. That's
oh,
the way.
My God. Stan, you really do have a case of Trump derangement syndrome. You would want, Stan, hold on. You want the guy, Adam Holloway, who's in New Jersey. That is the guy who is the character witness for the blind sheikh, the guy who was behind the World Trade Center bombing. The guy voluntarily said, I'll be a character witness because that guy's got so much character. That's like women in a battered women's shelter saying, I want to be a character witness for Graham Platner. I'm sorry. So this to me, that's like chickens saying, I want to, be a character witness for KFC. I mean, come on, you got to be kidding me.
Republicans would do anything to get power. They'd put anybody in, just like the Democrats. Okay, that's what it's come to. I agree with you, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not thrilled with this guy. But if he I don't know how the people in the Maine voted, but they voted for him. If he gets elected, anything's better than the guy in the White House. To stop
completely
him
disagree. Completely. You are Jewish, and you would take a Nazi tattoo wearing guy who is wearing a tattoo of Totenkopf. Those are the guys and the death squads in the camps over President Trump, who has been a huge supporter of Israel. Did I hear you right, Stan?
He is a supporter of Israel, yes.
So you're willing to take the other guy over the guy who's been a big supporter of Israel.
There are many Republicans that are no good that the Republicans supported. I don't like this guy, but they supported them. So please don't cry to me. The hypocrisy is on both sides. Okay?
Not like this, both Stan. Sides. Not like this, and not like what I heard from you tonight. Stan, that's a preposterous comment. You got to call back again. But boy, this is one for the record books that you're willing to take Graham Platner over Donald Trump. And you already say that he's been great, that Trump has been great for Israel. And yet Graham Platner, with his Nazi tattoo and everything else, even though you think he's a disgusting pig, I think, you're still willing to take it. Wow. Stan, that says it all. That is really Trump derangement syndrome on steroids. Let's go to Larry in Brooklyn, line 5. Larry, go ahead. Wow. Hey, Larry, are you there? Larry, call us back because I think you've been on hold for a while. Let's go to Sandra in New Jersey, line 2. Go ahead, Sandra.
Good evening, Rita. I was at the Women's National Republican Club last night, and a woman comes over to me and says, "Did you hear Norman on the radio?"
Aww.
I missed it.
Oh,
Rita, I am so broken, but I'm so happy that he got the strength to call. I want you to know that this man is my friend. He's been my friend for a long time. He joins us for holidays.
You're talking about Norman. Norman.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandra, you know what? I'm going to try, by the way, I'm going to try to see if we can find that call, and maybe I'll play it tomorrow night on the show, because it was really beautiful when he called in. I believe it was Tuesday night, right, Sandra? I think it was Tuesday night, right? When he called in, because it was so beautiful. And to hear his voice, Sandra, I had tears in my eyes to hear from him.
Know.
You know,
I want to cry.
Oh, what an amazing! And he sounded, he sounded like he's going through a tough time. But he also said he's staying strong, and he's been listening to the show, and he just wants people to know, to give him a little bit of space, because obviously, he's dealing with a lot and trying to heal. But it was so beautiful, Sandra. I'm so glad. And Sandra, do me a favor, tune in tomorrow night, because I'll make sure that we'll try to play that call again too tomorrow night, because everybody has been thinking about Norman, praying for him, and he just made so many of us happy to hear from him. Sandra, thank you very, very much. We're going to try to play it again, everybody, tomorrow night, Norm, because he is so special to all of us. And as we were saying earlier, Robert from Philly, we're like family. And Norm is a big part of the family. We love him. And I'm so glad sounds like he's on a comeback. Let me go to Viviana in Brooklyn, line 5. Go ahead, Viviana.
Hello there. How are you? I have a response for Stan.
Yeah, get a life? Or what's the response?
No. How dare you speak about our big brother, the President of the United States, that kept you from Kamala Harris and delivered you from the fraud of Minnesota and the voter fraud of California? How dare you want to criticize him when he closed the border, when Biden couldn't even decide which way was up? How dare you, Stan? You keep on saying that I'll criticize him no matter what. But if you had the other, you would be crying.
Yeah,
so,
Viviana,
Stan,
you are so right. Viviana, it's amazing. I mean, Stan is Jewish, and that's why I asked him. He said he's been praising Trump for at least going after Iran. He'd like him to finish the job, which I think a lot of us do. And look, if he gets a peace deal and they stop and it can be verified, that's terrific news too. But Stan feels like he still hates Trump. He still has Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, every time there was some case against Trump, he called up and said, Trump's the worst thing ever. And then yet he also just said that Graham Platner is the worst. I mean, but it just, it epitomizes. And Stan, I think, has a good heart. I love Stan personally. He's a great guy. He's a character. But Stan, wake up. There are a lot of Stans out there with this complete blinders on. If you listen to what he says, the next comment should be, Trump is the greatest president ever and what a hero for doing X. And yet he still is bought into a Democrat, even Graham Platner, who's the scum of the earth in his mind. I mean, to me, it just shows this Trump derangement syndrome really is almost a disease you can't get over, it seems. No matter what, right, Viviana?
Yes. Can I make one more comment?
Yeah, please.
At this point, I'm appealing to many of those people. It's almost as if they say, don't confuse me with the truth because my mind is already made up. But what are you getting from that? Are you feeling more peace? Can't you see the positive? And why won't you see the positive? Is it someone who's poisoned your mind so much that you just can't relinquish and let go? I pray that these people will have a moment of reckoning, not only with their God, but with the fact that America is the only hope that we have. If we lose America, the rest of the world will have a tremendously, it's not even hard, it will be horrible existence, because at least we're standing for the truth.
100%. And Viviana, thank you, Viviana. You are terrific. And also your point there is a good one, because America, a strong America with strong borders, is good for the world. Because you need a strong leader in the world, and America is always leading the charge, and that's the way to do it. And I agree with you. Can you imagine, like you just said, open borders? If another 20 million came in under Kamala, Mayorkas would get the Medal of Freedom or something? I mean, I think about how different the world would be. And people like Stan should be kissing the ground and saying, thank God we have somebody who cares about this country. Maybe Stan will do that. Maybe tomorrow he'll think about it and call me back. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. And everybody, will continue your calls after the break. But first, support our heroes.
The Rita Cosby Show presents Support Our Heroes.
And everybody, this is the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Support Our Heroes segment with a very powerful story from Natchez, Mississippi, where friends, fellow veterans, and also community leaders gathered to celebrate John Kerwin's 100th birthday and receiving the key to the city from the mayor. Now, they gave him a proclamation recognizing his service during World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War, as well as his contributions to the community. The veteran entered a military preparatory program at the age of 16, and he enlisted in the Army Air Corps when he reached re-enlistment age. Now, during his 25-year military career, he participated in classified air-sea rescue missions during World War II before eventually retiring from the Air Force in 1970. Now, the celebration honoring him had a lot of tributes from friends and supporters and a group rendition of God Bless America. What a beautiful, beautiful way to honor this member of the greatest generation. And everybody, all it takes is just $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the incredible Tunnel to Towers Foundation. They are the best and they help America's heroes. Be sure to check them out at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
The Rita Cosby Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And let's go to Stu on line 1 in Brooklyn. Go ahead, Stu.
Hey, good evening, Rita. Rita, all of these people I hear who are knocking the president and supporting this Nazi piece of crap in Maine.
Yep.
They're of the Vince Lombardi School of Philosophy, where he once said, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Yeah, you know what? You hit it on the head. That's all they care about are the numbers. They just want somebody with a pulse. It's disgraceful. It's Trump derangement syndrome.
Thanks for listening to The Rita Cosby Show. You can hear The Rita Cosby Show weeknights at 10 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
One summer moment can change a child's life. Through Toys for Tots Give and Go initiative, your support provides books, games, toys, and outdoor adventures that spark curiosity, creativity, and a love of nature. Whether it's fishing, learning a new sport, reading under a tree, or playing with friends, these moments build confidence and lifelong memories. For too many children, those moments never come. You can help change that this summer. Visit toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots, delivering hope beyond the holidays.